Welcome back. This is Arnav Chaudhary, and you are live on my YouTube channel on a Monday evening, September 9th. It's the evening after India played Syria in the Intercontinental Cup, and in the end, it turned to be a 0-3 loss for India. And is this the new reality of Indian football that we have to accept and that Manolo will have to accept? We will be talking about this a little bit more today. And as always, as I love to say, like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube and on my other social medias. And as always, also let's grow the community. Let's get more people involved. And those of you who have subscribed and who leave the likes. Thanks a lot, guys. I do appreciate your support. Hi, Fiction Nerd. Welcome back. Do you think we never disappoint to create more and more disappoint? Murali, I think it's not a disappointment. I think it's a reality. I think this 0-3 is a reality of where we stand. Maybe, we could have scored one goal here or there, but if we score a goal, then Syria scores most probably 2 or 3 more. So it's rather instead of 0-3, it's then a 1-5. Is it a 1-6? I said yesterday I would love us to win 1-0 or 2-1, but the reality in my head says it's going to be a 0-2 or a 0-3. It turned out to be a 0-3 in the end. That's more realistic of where we stand, and that's the that's the reality of where we stand at this moment. So hopefully, things change. I know it's not easy, always easy to say that things will change, but for things to really change, I think is a challenge in itself. And therefore for me, it's going to be, it's a long journey for us in Indian football. It will be a long journey for Manolo. Manolo will have to ask himself, who do I play? Who do I not play? Who do I keep? Who do I replace? And and these are all realities which I find very, very difficult. And the question is, where can the changes come from? I think that's another thing. India have fallen downfall very much. They cannot bounce back. Morally, I think it's not a downfall. It's, I think, a reality check. I think we were not as great as we were. We are not realizing where we were. Even last year when we were winning, we were not as good as we thought we were. Sorry, I was there at the SAF Cup semi-final and final. Lebanon and Kuwait were better than us. Let's see. Second half was better than the first, but instead the defense was worse in the second half. Fictioner, I felt in the second half. Again, let me tell you what I thought. I thought Syria overall was in control of the game. They dictated the pace. They gave India some space towards the end of the first half. They gave India a lot of space in the second half. But they felt like, you know what, even if India score, we can score another one. And that was my feeling. And again, you saw in the second goal and the third goal, the potential class that this Syrian team has. And if this was an AFC official game, I don't know, a World Cup qualifier, if this was something else, we would have lost. And that's my, Do you think Nanda including in squad? Are you surprised? Murali, I am no longer surprised by any inclusion or exclusion, because the question is, I can remove players. I know a lot of people are saying, remove this player, remove that player, remove him. And then we will take things forward. Yes, very nice. But what's my alternative, right? Is my alternative better, right? So therefore, that's the reality. And I want to see the alternatives. That's our biggest problem. Not at all surprising. There's no quality. You need to change entire team, at least try and new lose rather than lose with old ones. Prasanjit, you might say that, but then if you're going to bring in the new ones and lose 5, 6, 7-0, what are you going to say then? Right? Then the people who shout, bring him in, bring this guy, bring that guy, and those guys are not ready. That is our biggest problem. This is This is the reality of where we stand in this moment. This annoys me that no one is willing to have a reality check of where we really, really stand. You can replace A with B, you can replace B with C. The outcome will be the same or will be worse. So that's my concern. Hi, Kumar. Overpaid players are exposed again. Yeah, and that's been happening for a while, no? Manvi was out of the frame the whole time. Yeah, fast food, it's a problem. I mean, now I think people realize the value of Sunil Chetri over the last few years, and it's you know, yeah. Let's see. Do you think defense were not up to the mark, or our team really exposed? It's defense. Yeah, I think. Was there a need to play Anwar today? Would be my question to Manolo. If that's one of the questions they asked him, I thought Sana played very well. Nikhil Pujari and Bose were exposed in the first half, badly exposed. But again, the same thing happened to Ashish Rai and Jay Gupta in the first game against a weak opponent. Yeah, and defense can be said. Defensive midfield is also a thing. We have problems. We have problems all over the pitch. Onada still could he's not getting a chance. I think he should get one chance at least. Okay. Which one, Kumar? Hi now, sir. I'm highly disappointed with the team India's performance. Ranjan, yeah. I'm not expecting much. I am also disappointed. But because I still have somewhere in me there is still a very small bit where there's a little bit of hope. I don't know. Players you think should leave national team. AY7 football, all. But then the replacements, I would also immediately leave the national team. Their replacements, I would say, leave the team. Their replacements leave the national team. We don't have good quality. And your second line, your third line, we're demanding, is not there. We have a general problem in standard in our football. That is the first recognition that we need to make. As long as that doesn't happen, let's see. You say certain they're not ready. Can we give them exposure international tournament? Murali, they are getting exposure and they're getting exposed badly, which shows that they're not ready for this level of football. You can try players, but it's like, let me make this example. You can't swim, but you're fighting to stay above the water. Our players are sinking in the water. That is my concern. They're not fighting to stay above ground and trying to get oxygen. If you want to take example. I don't think we're going AFC 2027. Manolo can't change this team that quickly. Prasanjit, let's wait and see. After the last two games, I would say AFC Asian Cup 2027 looks tough. AFC Asian Cup also depends on the group that is drawn. I think that is also going to be a question. Who do we face? Who will be our challenge? So therefore that's going to be another question at the moment. But at the moment it looks difficult. But again, let in December the groupings come out, and let in March let the tournament start, and then we'll see. And we are dreaming of World Cup. This is that's one thing that is left, right? That we're able to dream. Or now that this is a never-ending cycle of Indian football, not the solution of the problem. Kumar, for me, knowing the solution is nice. I'm not the person who's implementing it. That's the problem. Putia not getting chance. Kumar, should get a chance. Is the one, or is the two, is the three player going to make a change? I don't know. Edmund's movement was good, should get more chances. And I counter that fast food in those two situations where he should have been somewhere in the box. People were saying that he should be a striker. His movement in the box was wrong. If in a counter-attacking movement, that's where Edmund is strong. And you saw that when he finished that ball, right? He looked at options, didn't find option, took a shot. That's when Edmund is strong. But if people want him as a 9, Ashish Rai once or twice played the ball in, he wasn't there. So again, we have to look at the whole thing. And that's the problem. Shubhashish Bose should be used as a centre back in space. We always make him struggle against spacey wingers. Maybe, I don't know. Striker, we are playing somewhat without a striker at the moment, right? We're not playing with a goal. We'll have to see what happens, right? That's the challenge. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just adjust the camera. Yeah. Amal, just to restart my point, Lamine Yamal is one of the best young players in the world. Sorry, I just um Keepgan played for the under-20s, and if you say that a player of his stature needs to be playing for the national team, either like the boys in Mauritius, you play for academy sides of in countries of top 5 nations, in my opinion at least, or at that age of Lamine Yamal's age, you play senior level football. None of these players is playing senior level football. There have been people who say, oh, you're shipping in players from the services, from the army. Oh, you should players from the I-League. I think there needs to be an understanding, in my opinion at least, my humble opinion at least. We need to understand what is the level of international football. And Manolo said something which Bob Houghton also used to say. Sometimes maybe you don't pick the best, you pick the right players who are capable of playing international football. So for us, when we have standout talents, they will work their way through. Changte got a chance as an 18-year-old. Stephen gave him a chance at the AIFF Cup 2015 as an 18-year-old, and he scored even. Baichung was in his teen when he first played at East Bengal and for country. So we have that. But tell me the player who's that standout who needs to play. Because what did we see today? Mahesh Naurem, very talented player, good player in the ISL. He's being pushed around by the Syrians. And in one or two occasions, he luckily got a foul, which according to me weren't fouls. So if that reality doesn't kick in, that there are certain players who might be your best players in the country, but international football is not something for them. As long as we don't understand that, nothing will change. And there are players that Manolo has called up, in my opinion, who don't deserve to be there. There are others who should be there. But again, we don't have the luxury. Do you think certain players, unless they prove in ISL, until they should be not be playing 11? Murali, as I said, it needs to be an understanding of who can play international football or who cannot. I remember I said a year or two ago when people were saying Rahul Baker needs to be thrown out. I said Rahul Baker is an international level player, and Rahul Baker at the moment is proving it. Right? There are other players who I said they don't deserve to be there, and they're nowhere to be seen in the national team now. That is what a good coach can judge and understand. The job of an international coach is very, very tough. Do you think today's match we were outplayed or quality and reality exposed? I don't think we were outplayed because Syria didn't stamp on the gas for 90 minutes. We had our moments. With a little bit of more luck, we could have even scored a goal. But Syria, if they take their chances, also score a few more. What's the glimmer of hope? Is there any hope? I don't see any hope in Indian football. So the glimmer of, again, the hope is at the moment is that we have in Manolo a new coach. I said that give him some time, let him make his decisions. He's now seen a set of players. He's at 25 players. I think he'll call up a few other players and he might make 5, 6, 7 changes to the next squad, and then we'll see. Let's see how those players do. And this he'll have to do trial and error. Maybe he'll end up with the same squad in a few months, sorry. So that is, ISL needs to lower salary cap or else nothing will change. We need to pay them less, then only they will force themselves out to play abroad. Prasanjit, if you want to reduce the salary cap for these players to go abroad, the salary cap would have to be cut down, I don't know, to 1/5 of what it is now. And still, the money that you would pay, again, even the money you pay in the I-League for the players in the I-League, no one would pick up an Indian player. Kumar, I've not missed any questions so far. If I missed any, please repost it. Do you think the main reason why we are poor is because negligence grass in youth football? Murali, you've asked that question multiple times. Yes, that's a problem, but the problem is also at the senior level, and the players don't get better. India scored 2 goals this year so far, 1 against Qatar, 1 against Afghanistan. We even can't score goals, 0 goals in AFC Asian Cup, 0 goals in this cup. Yeah, get on it. That's a problem. That's a problem. Manvir, Sahal and Nanda was looking so poor in both games. Get on red, I think we can speak about a lot of players who look poor, and Stop watching football, watch hockey. India beat Japan 5-1 today. Might be nice, Prasenjit, but football is the biggest sport in the world. Hockey is a niche sport, if people like it or not. And Manolo tactics are quite questionable. Nikhil was playing well, but he subbed him. Did you think Nikhil played well? I didn't think he played well. Another Shubhashish not at all tracking back. I think is really just catching up, not which is mentioned on document. Okay. What should get a chance? Sare. Okay, Ritam. I know. Which performs better, today's or at Asia Cup? Orijit, there's one thing this is still a friendly, right? So therefore, I would say the intensity overall in the Asian Cup was higher. But was it better? Better, worse? Again, it's if I've got one or two positives, I've got, I don't know, 100 negatives. That's my concern with the team at the moment, right? That if I look at the things, if I look at how we played, how we structured things, how we did things, or how we didn't rather do things, to me, it's very like. Sorry, don't know what's happening with the connection. Yeah, I'm back again. Sorry. To me, Asian Cup is for us the highest level that we can play football. So therefore, I would rate it higher. This is still a friendly. The biggest thing I feel Indian players still not able to play the game of touch and pass properly in this era. Here on rare, I come back. The basics is a problem. We see that again and again. That's Yamal reminds me of shining Mbappe at 2018 World Cup. This shows that they have backup. Rhythm, they are producing talent every day. Barcelona, with all its problems, are still producing talents left, right, and center. Where is the exceptional talent that India is producing at the moment? I've been saying for the last 5 years. I remember I said it when I visited an academy. Or I visited multiple academy about 5 years ago, right? Around late 2019. I said, are we forget producing Messi's, Ronaldo's. Are we able to produce Bachung Bhutias and Sunil Chhetris? Now with Syria in the first 30 or 40 minutes, they played with full intensity. After that, they did not play with their full intensity and they were relaxed. They understood the level of Indian team. Yeah, Kumar, agree. That's why India got chances in the second half. When judged the player, on what basis do you evaluate his technique or the position he plays, certain attributes? Kumar, there is. If I would evaluate players on technique, it's nice. I think the technique is a bonus to me. The basics are the basics. How can you stop a ball, play a ball? Do you have game sense? Do you understand where to position yourself? How to when to go forward or not? I mean, towards the end, why did we concede 2 more goals? Because India tried to go attacking, and we were totally exposed. I mean, if Syria were clinical with their counters, even SAF will become out of bounds for India. I hope not Orijit, but that danger is certainly there. I don't understand FIFA rules. How a country choosing player whose family are living for 2 generations in foreign countries, their own player, Asian regions become more and more Euro Cup. Jagpreet, if you can prove you're of origin and you're talking about Europe, Syria played players from Central and South America, from Mexico and from Chile and Argentina as well. And they are Syrians. They call themselves Syrians. If I, let's say, I have a kid and my kid played football and that kid wanted to play for India, I'm born in Germany. So, would you not take it? If India won't, that's a different question. But it's a rule which has been there always. Most of the world is using it. We are not. I thought match would be tough, but today match is cakewalk. Yeah, but I told you yesterday. You said, will it be tough? No, I didn't think so. We are not of the level of Syria at the moment. Sorry, we're not. Edmund is better than Manveer. Manveer should retire from national team. What this fell after Manisha India got a couple of chances. Hard luck, fortune favors the brave. Yeah. But I think the tide will turn again. Don't write Manveer off too early, I would say. Maybe inviting Vanuatu, San Marino, Brunei, and Cambodia would have been better. Syria, Vietnam are out of our league. Yeah, Richard, Some pain relief now after seeing your video. Now I'm going to switch off to follow hockey or cricket. Omal, don't. That would be my only advice. So the important is, even if we're feeling bad, even if we see how bad it is, keep supporting football. Did you see Man United Legends with Celtic Legends match 2 days back? A few minutes and pace of that match was more than an ISL game. Guardiola, no, I didn't. But again, I don't think the intensity was the same. Always remember when you watch something on television, to compare things is very tough. How do you define a player of international level? Ritan, I would say you look at players, you see if they are up to the task of playing international football. Are they capable of tactically, physically stand their ground? I earlier on used the example of, if you can't swim and you're thrown into the water, you should be trying to do something to try and stay above the waterline to be able to get oxygen, right? Our players are drowning. Our players are drowning international football, if I make that comparison. Left, right, and center. Yeah, there might be exceptions of one or good things and good shots and this and that and everything. But there might be some, as a national coach, you sometimes have to think, these players can do it or these players can't. And at the moment, I see a lot of players, also players that are being demanded by the fans, they're getting chances. They're not good enough for international football. Sorry to say that. Right? So that's the reality. I really don't know why some people say we lose to war-torn, sorry, without knowing their players' background. It doesn't matter if they're war-torn or not. There are other war-torn countries around the world against whom we would lose. So it doesn't matter. It was good that India didn't qualify. Imagine this: India against Iran, Japan, Korea, Australia. Arijit, you have a point. You have a very, very big point. At the time, I said it was important for us not to progress because there was also the issue of our coach, but also seeing now some of the results, yeah. Edmund was fine. Yeah, Gaming Warriors, you will see that opportunity. You will see the one or the other runs. I look at other things. I like the boy. I've seen him since he was young. He needs to do more. And he will need to do more at Interkashi this season to convince me that he can regularly become a starter maybe in the future of the national team. Because, yeah, ask the Canadians what they thought about him. Which player from the current team do you think will be dropped for October matches? It's a good question. If fit, Brandon and Vikram will surely come back. That adds firepower up front. I would like to see Rahim Ali as well, because at least I saw a little bit of commitment, at least from him when he came on in the last 2 games for us in June. But Praveen, I think let the ISL start. Manolo will announce his squad in, I think, about 3 weeks. And then we'll see. We'll have injuries as well. But again, again, it depends a little bit also what Manolo plays. Does Manolo, for example, play Jay Gupta as his left back? Or does Akash Sangwan, for example, play? Then I would say, hey, Akash Sangwan should be given a chance in the national team. Right? Zeeks and Suresh Apuya, all three of them didn't convince me. I think Putia at some stage needs to get a chance. Right? Nanda, difficult, you know. The same applies to Liston. Manveer, yeah, most probably give him a break, at least bring in Rahim Ali. You know, so yeah. Any comment for Indian defense? What the hell with the defense? What happened with defense? No build up from the back run. Hope Manolo will make the team stronger. Through him, it's just a lack of quality. You know, you're trying to do stuff, but again, that's why I said give Manolo the time, because Manolo has no time, right? Again, today the defense was exposed against a superior opponent, and the question that I would ask him is, does Anwar Ali, with all that has happened around Anwar Ali, deserve to play? Because the second, I think he was involved in all 3 goals for Syria today. I think he's got other problems. I guess the change things really, an Indian team needs to create a surprising performance like cricket in 83 or hockey and Olympics for the sport to really pick up, even if a team manages in ACL too. Samban, yeah, but we are nowhere to creating surprises at continental level, right? So that's the reality. Maybe Manolo looks different, but I feel he's trying every player to get fit to get fit into his philosophy, and I feel he will make a good team soon, which will win better results. I hope so. But Manolo, I feel also will learn from the last few days the challenge of coaching a national team compared to coaching a club side. His problem will be in the national team, you have limited time. What are you going to do in 5, 7, 10 days, right? That's what he will do. That's why he's picked up a lot of players who have played under him, right? So, yeah. हमारे प्लेयर्स के पास दिमाग नहीं है ऑपोजिट टीम को चला के से छमका देकर गोल मगर कर पाए ना कोई विजन है ना इनोवेशन है ना टेक्निक है ना स्किल्स है ऐसी बस दौड़ रहे I mean, to sum it up, there's a lack of vision, innovation, technique, skills. Our players don't have the brains to do the things which are needed. Sorry, I don't know your name. Is it O00O maybe, if I say it right? Yeah, that's the challenge. We were playing volleyball using foot in the defense. Yeah, essentially, sadly, yeah. The main problem is not improper grassroots infra, it's the coaches, especially ones at grassroots level, are the main reason for the current state of Indian football. Unless we train them, nothing will change. So, Robert, thank you very, very much. This is what I say. I always say that. Grassroots, youth football, our coaching, and the competitions. That combo has to be perfect for us to develop better players. And we're not. At the moment, we're struggling left, right, and center, right? For us, that's a problem, right? We are struggling to create players of the level that is needed, for us to be able to compete at this level, right? For us, we are. I don't know where we are. I don't know where we are at the moment, you know. Second half was fairly decent. Showcast, again, if you say that, it's a little bit, in my opinion, sugarcoating, right? Because Syria played first half an hour, then took the pedal off the gas, returned to first gear, and then pushed up to third, fourth whenever needed. And that gave India the chance, you know. And we lack opportunistic strikes. Any of the goals would have been more luck than anything. Look at the Liston thing at the end. Changte is trying, but I think Changte needs someone to play off, and he doesn't have someone to play off. I think he's trying also too much himself. Another Nikhil Pujari played the worst team. I do not know why he will only run near the touchline. He did try to move or pass the ball from there to midfielder. Yeah, but Kumar, look at the others. I mean, right back and left back, who's convinced us in the last few games? The last one was, I don't know, over a year ago, would have been Pritham Kotal. And Pritham Kotal now is no longer there was 15, 16, 17 months ago. I do not have any hope from these players anymore. Manolo won't change anything in the 3 camps. Our players' basics are very bad. They're just good for their clubs. Chetan, they're not good for their clubs. At the clubs, you have the foreigners. And the weaknesses, don't get exposed that much. The foreigners cover up a lot. And that is something that we also need to realize and recognize. A great talent is born or made. Samban, it can be both. Messi was born with the talent. Cristiano Ronaldo worked hard to become Cristiano Ronaldo. So there are different paths to success. Why are midfield so bad? We don't get any chances from midfield. We won't be winning header against physical side, but all we do is cross the ball from wing. Jagpreet, for that, we need to have control. I think we are, Sahal for me is a problem that I always say. Sahal, putting him into a system is always difficult. Jeekson, Suresh, and Apuya were always working to try and control. Apuya was dropping very deep. Apuya sometimes was playing I felt he was trying to be like a Tony Kroos, becoming the third man in the back line. So therefore, we need creativity in that midfield. And that middle, to me, Thapa doesn't give me that creativity. Sahal can give me that creativity, but he will have to have the players around him to do it. My hope is that Brandon comes back in the next window and hopefully does something. This was last time for Nikhil, Manvir and Liston. Manolo gave hints that the ones who didn't perform won't be selected. Shokas, that if he says those who didn't perform won't be selected, then most players don't get selected. Last time India played good for what was at Asian Cup against Australia, first 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, if you want to say that was good football, Pranav, yeah. Ashish Rai performance, in your opinion, was far better than Nikhil and probably best in the field today. That's a big statement, Shokas. To me, he wasn't certainly not the best. He looked better than most. I would say, Musway Changte would have been the best player. But the other day he was terrible, right? Again, we're talking also about consistency. Another, in that case, then you should Indian origin living in Germany. Yeah, I'm Indian origin. Of course I am. 2-3 years ago, at least we used to look like we were doing struggle on the field. Nowadays, we're just a joke. Chetan, that's my concern. At the moment, we sometimes look like we can't play football. That's a huge concern, in my opinion. So. It's very difficult. I feel we are not good enough. We're not nowhere near where we need to be. That's the problem. We were good in the second half, at least Syria. Last two goals were against the run of play. How do I put it? We're happy and content. They stopped playing football after 30 minutes. And they were we, 30 minutes. 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 30 min They were so sure of themselves that even if India scored, they could score another one. To some extent, it was a little arrogant that they didn't score a second goal earlier. But they knew, because the Indians were pressing. Yeah, if you felt we were good in the second half, then you are happy with things which I cannot be happy with. Sorry to say that. Changte was poor today. I wouldn't say that, Chetan. He was at least trying. He got at least 2 shots on goal. He was trying. And maybe he was trying too much sometimes, but he's trying. Our players are playing like school kids, just kicking the ball here and there. Yeah, Harshit, sometimes it looks like that. Sadly, it looks like that. Our U20 are struggling in South. They're going to play ISL in the future. We talk about replacing national team players. The replacement are the same, then what to do? Prasanjit, my concern is not the same, is not what to do. The problem is the next batch of players seems to be worse than what we had. That should be the question. That should be the concern. I have seen under 17s over the last 20 plus years. And the last 2 under 17s I've seen, I saw the one last year in Germany. Bibiano there or not, last was not impressive. Sorry. So we need to talk about that. We have a talent development problem. And then, as those who run academies, football schools, training centers, what are you producing? Ask the coaches, the big talking Indian coaches. What are you producing? I was expecting 4-1 after defending the entire game, scoring 1 consolation on the counter, not much better than that. I know the quality levels had enough priority checks. Still saw some positives. Abhijit, some positives, yes, we tried. But the point is that this opponent, I felt, didn't take us seriously after some time. That is a concern. Right? That's what I'm saying. The Syrians, to me, were at some extent were arrogant. Choose to remember, at least there was some, yeah. But those positives in a official game will not be the turning points, right? Gurpreet Singh Sandhu worst. Usse acha mein goli banta. Ganesh, good day, bad day. Gurpreet has had, in official matches, he's been our best goalkeeper. Today, second goal, poor. But I think he's already moving towards the right, and the goalkeeper and the striker does a targets the short angle. Yeah. How do you expect people to support Indian football if they don't get anything in return? If the current performance keeps on going, Indian football will be dead in a decade. It's already in ICU. Yeah, so Ravar, I again come back to my Japan example, which I love to do. Yesterday was 20th anniversary of India-Japan at the Salt Lake Stadium in 2004. 90,000 people at the Salt Lake Stadium, 5,000 Japanese. The support from the Japanese was incredible, right? And again, Indian fans are very calm and quiet and all that stuff, and did chanting here and there, but overall, it was Japan. I saw them 2 years later here in Germany, in Dortmund against Brazil. They lost 4-1. The support was the same. And this is something, if you win, if you lose, you need to support your team. Let's be critical. We are being critical over here, but we should never stop supporting the national team. You should make a detailed video why we're not able to acquire OCI players. What's the problem of government? Chetan, I've done multiple videos. Look in my timeline. I've done, I think, 2-3 videos on the topic. Look at it. The government is not going to do it. I have tried my best, as an individual. I'll be arrogant enough to say that. If people say it's arrogant, but I'll be honest. Nobody else in the world has tried it more than me over the last 2+ decades. The government doesn't want to do it. So these are realities. ACL 2 and Challenge League going to be scary for us. Dipchit, I've said that. I don't expect anything, and if something positive comes out, I'll be very, very happy. So yeah. Their goalkeeper saved a couple of chances in second half, couple of shots hit in the bar. Yeah, sure, of course we had chances. But to me, Syria, if we had scored, even if we had equalized, I think the afterburners would have gone on. They would have left first gear again and gone to fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh gear. Look at how Syria played with us in the first 20, 30 minutes. They were there. David should be there. And then we start this, sorry, Ganesh, to say this nonsense again. Do you really think that David is a striker who should be playing national team? I mean, I can put my boots on and then I can walk into the national team. That's the level of strikers you're talking about now. I-League strikers are not going to make it. Let's see how many matches he's going to play in the ISL. Playing Durand Cup and CFL is not the standard of the national team. If we don't have a natural striker, then one of the better players needs to be turned into a false number 9. Very simple. Nanda worst, yeah, didn't another not a good match in my opinion. And now there are some problems in Manoli, but the only thing I don't like is he cannot shoot from tight space today. Edmund shot from the tight space he did today. Yeah, Kumar. Yeah. Okay. Nothing much to add. Gurpreet was so bad today. I don't know what is our mentality to not give our performers chance. Chetan. Yeah, who do you not play? In the official games, it's been better. First and second goal can be saved. Second, surely. First, I think I don't too many bodies in between if I see it right. Yeah. But second one, surely. But the second one is also a problem. No? He's committing to the right and the ball comes to the left. Yeah, difficult. I think the best goalkeeper in India is Dheeraj. Gurpreet Singh's on the second. Just have to ask his name time, but still can't forget Dheeraj's performance ACL. No matter how bad his form is, he is more talent. Abhijit, I've seen Dheeraj for now 9 years. At the moment, he's not even an ISL starting goalkeeper. So, no way. Yeah. So, sorry. Can't agree with you on that. Dheeraj doesn't even come in the top 10 at the moment, I think. And if I say Gurpreet, Amrinder, Vishal, Purba, Prabh Sukhan, a few more, and then, doesn't come there. Another, according to Ranjit Bajaj, Anwar Ali is world-class player because Anwar did not play. That's the reason we made a draw, which is told by Ranjit Bajaj. Kumar, if you take those comments seriously, then that is your mistake. I think today we saw how good or bad he is. There is no leader in this team. Rohit, yes. Very valid point. Very, very good point. To me, it looks like a headless chicken. The Indian team, there is no leadership. That's the thing. At the end of the day, I watch football for entertainment, and what I see now is pure garbage, so won't watch it, but will watch national team for the country. Ritham, yeah, continue to watch the national team. That's good. That's my only thing that I can say to anybody and everybody. Keep watching the national team, never lose hope. Competent fans gives more guarantee than the Indian football team. Yeah, to win. I think there's no guarantee. Bhutan had a foreign coach for U20 team. They have budget, but we have to pay 3 crores. How will we appoint foreign coach there? For Sanjit, the under-20 coach for Bhutan is not being paid by Bhutan. There is a development program under which he's being paid. Not surprised we could do worse. Yeah, good evening. Oh, sorry, for you it's good afternoon, Shushmit. Yeah, we could go lower. That's, I think, the disturbing fact. Don't you think India should play 5 at the back with such lack of vision and dead ball touch? Siddhant, they can't play 5 at the back. 3-man backline doesn't work. Understanding gets even worse. Bob Houghton, Stephen tried it. I remember Stephen tried it in 2004. I remember before the Japan match, which was yesterday, 20 years ago. Stephen actually did one thing where he actually created something like a rope thingy and tied 5 players together and then ask them to run, sideways and front and back. It was, for us outside, it was hilarious to just prove a point in regard to coordination. So 5 back, I don't think Indian players are used to playing 4 back. And for them, if you want to play a 5 back, you need a foreigner in there. Do you think Kian would have created? Kian hasn't played, so I don't know. I rate Kian. I think he's very, very talented. I think this camp will have, brought something for him. But the question is not just with Kian, just with every other player. What can you do to improve yourself to the level that you can, that you can make a difference and be someone to be counted on? We have so many wingers, but who is really going to be that impact player? How costly will be foreign coaches in grassroots for the club academies of AIFF and academies? I think if Super League Kerala gets successful, it may impact football India more than ISL. Super League Kerala, give it time. Super League Kerala also is talking about a lot of things. The ISL spoke about the same things 10 years ago. Their focus will be the first team. Believe me, Abhijit. Believe me, whatever they say now. And they will start cutting costs because I already know that they are not covering their costs this season, whatever people are saying. Right? It is in Indian realities, it's very, very tough. No one will speak about it. So it will cost, because the structure is not just of a grassroots coach. The clubs would have to then have the right youth coach, have a foreign technical director. The whole setup would be that way. And the question is how so it's not so easy. Another one thing to say, how teachers are taught in that way, only kids learn to play football. Teachers means coaches. The coaches are worse at Indian grassroots level. Hey, Kumar, we're not only talking grassroots. How far do you think he would be effective if he's playing 11? Murali, he's not a starting 11 player yet. Kian, at the moment, is not a starting player. He needs to get game time at club regularly, maybe as a sub for the national team. And if he convinces, then he gets more. Do you think Brandon missed badly in this match? Yeah. Brandon is one of those players who can be the difference. We, although made so much defensive and individual errors, but fairly we haven't created this much attacks whole year that we created in this match. Harry, very, very true. But again, to me, Syria allowed it. If Syria plays their proper game 90 minutes, like in the Asian Cup, we see no land. If AIFF doing anything regarding coach education, the priority should be to develop quality coaches, should bring foreign coaches to train Indian ones. So now they've done that. The question is not, the AIFF started with the licensing. There are top coaches in India who resisted the licensing program of coaches. There are people who are saying, licensing should be not be there. People want the coaching system, that the coaching education should be for free. And if you want, this is what you get. I think you need to make it costly because you want quality people to come in, right? It's the question is not just education. The question is also, what are the coaches themselves doing? The youth level coaches also want to win. So I focus on the players who are developed at that respective age. That's the problem. In the general quality of average Indian ISL players, that better average ISL player, massive difference. Yeah. The top level in the ISL is much better than an I League. God save Indian football. Oh, no, yeah. Were you born in Germany? Yes, I was born in Germany. What separates West Asian countries' football development from us? They spend a lot of money and they bring in what Abhijit was saying. They bring in a lot of foreigners into their system to work. So therefore, there are a lot of foreigners working in the West Asian countries, be it in Qatar, be it in Saudi, be it in Kuwait, Oman, UAE. Only exceptions would be Iran, Iraq, Jordan, those kind of countries, Palestine, there's no development happening, but it still works. আমরা গোল করতে ভুলে গেছি, শুধু ব্যাকপাস করেই ম্যাচ জিতবো. When I was saying we've forgotten to score goals, we want to win matches by playing back passes. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. If the confidence is also not there to play a front, to not to play a square pass, to play a back pass, to have the confidence to play forward. Yeah, you're right. Most of the players were bad. If going this path, Manolo have to change the entire team. Exactly, Chetan. He could pick another 25 players and put a team together. The outcome would be the same. Most probably it would be worse. That's the danger that we need to understand of where our quality of players are at the moment. Abar amra naki ekdin World Cup khelbo, what a joke. And Obinawa says, and we expect to play the World Cup one day, what a joke. If Syria increased their tempo, we would lose heavily. I think yes. If they played 90 minutes of what they're capable of, and you saw they kept some of the better players from the bench. So how do you rate first half or second half? Out of 10. First half would have been a 2. Second half I would have said maybe a 4. If I'm friendly, I would say a 5. Definitely will see a change in the system play. Having said that, do you think coach has a clear vision his first 11 by now after these 2 matches? Anurag, I don't think so. Because I think Manolo thought that certain players that he's banked on will bail him out. And those players seem to be not good enough. That's his problem. So, yeah, that's the reality. Right, haven't asked nearly those of you YouTube. My name is Manolo Chaudhary. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. 1,632 people. Thank you very much for that. For those of you who are following, like to leave a share so more people get to know and maybe join us. And yeah, try and do daily evening discussions on Indian football with a little touch of international football as well. So thanks for those of you who are following for a while, and thanks for those of you who are new. Being an ardent football fan, I'm trying to be positive and hopeful, but everything seems to be going the wrong direction. FC Euro, I think that's the challenge. That's why I say, yeah, that's the toughest, right? To try and stay positive. It's like pray, hope, wish. So yeah, that's it. I feel like they were taking too easy on us, still scored 2 goals in the second. Chetan, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why we should not get carried away by, oh, you know what, we've got so many chances. Anytime you felt I'm done with this team, morally, I'm never done with the national team. I will always, as I said, support. But yeah, sometimes you do feel, but again, it's very, very bad. I feel very bad for Manolo Marcus. Our players are utterly pathetic. Basic football khelte pare na era. Yeah, they can't play the basics. That's the reality. But Manolo's worked with Indian players. So, but again, Deepak says Manolo needs time. I don't know, Deepak, if time will change anything. Whenever the Indian football is not in ICU, you are wrong. Indian football is on CPR. Kumar, it was a statement by someone which I read out. So, are we on ICU, CPR? I don't even know what we are on. Sleeping giant has fallen back into its sleep, I guess. No matter how much we discuss, our problem is quality, and that will take 10 years if we start today seriously. Yeah, Deepak, very right. Even Roshan is better than Shubhashish and Jay Gupta. Yeah, but Virat Kohli, he was injured. He was not in the squad. And when he was playing, he also didn't play well for India. Do you think Jay Gupta, shaking international football, but in ISL, he comfortable? Do you think the tempo of international cannot sustain? It's not the tempo. It's something. It's the overall how international football is, and yeah, and he needs more time. needs to develop, evolve. Think about where he's come from. He's played lower level football in Spain, came to the ISL last year, and then became a national team player. That all happened in less than a year. Give him time. Michel Kate's still not eligible for the national team. Palash, that you need to ask the coach. Yeah. So I'm losing hope now. So sad to see the downfall of our Indian football. Is there can be any rule that every league's team must allow to play an Indian striker? I know that some of you have had this idea, but even if you play an Indian striker, will that make a difference? I don't know. The player has to be good enough. If you make a quota system, the quota system is like the last resort, right? And yeah, let's see. Hello, sir. My prediction was right, sadly. Yeah, Blue. Mine as well. As I said yesterday, my heart wanted a 1-0 or a 2-1, but mine said 0-2 or 0-3, and the 0-3 came right. Hello, sir. Are these players even professional? Do they know the meaning of wearing India jersey? I don't think so. They are all overrated or wild player. They don't give damn about the new team. Only ISL. Yeah, Vikram. It seems to me. मेरी शादी होगा मेरे बच्चे हो कुछ होंगे लेकिन इंटरनेशनल टीम का कुछ नहीं होने वाला. I'm utterly disappointed. It's as though our players don't even want to try winning. I feel you. I really feel you. I feel bad, but that's the current current reality of our football. Huh? It's brutal. It's tough. But that's the reality of where we stand at the moment. We are not as good as we think we are, and that's we need to get better. We need to be better. We need to get better, and it's hard. It's hard to watch this Indian team, you know. So I don't know. If you get the chance, which of the players will you strike out, and whom will you take? To be honest, want you to make a video on this. Ritham, I can say I'll throw out all 25 who are in the squad. I can get a whole new squad in. But I don't see that exceptional talent where I say, this player or that player will make 100% a difference. There is the hope that a player can make a difference. Again, we're seeing at the moment Jitin, right? Jitin MS. Maybe he could be. But again, I look at his physicality, and then I look at Mahesh, and I look at the others, and I say, same issue. Parthiv Gogoi could be a difference maker. Edmund, to me, again, let him start. I'd like to see what Edmund then does when he starts. Is he able to do that? But I don't think so. He's not ready. I spoke to friends in Canada, and I heard their rating, and that was not good. So if that's a hope, then we have a problem. I can strike out, again, as I said, I can strike out most teams. And again, I will not even start about certain decisions Manolo has taken, where I realized that, Manolo has been too much in the system. That's why I wanted a new coach to come in for the national team who has no links. Let him look, let him observe, let him create a new team. The dressing room issues, I think, are still not sorted. That's another issue we've not discussed. I think there's still some difference between players. Edwin had the more intent than all other players combined, Blue, and that's exactly what I don't think so. That is where my reading is different than yours or the reading of other people. Difference was clear. Syrian player want to win for their country, giving more than 100% on pitch. On the other side, Indian players, I don't know for what they were playing for. Vikram, that's the interesting part. That's why I always say, as someone who's of Indian origin, right? I know that there have been people I think that some of the players, the Indian origin boys, would give more than the current Indian lot, or they would have given more than any of the Indian players if you give them a chance. But it's not going to happen, right? Because India looks at its diaspora as being cash cows. So, not valued. Why Chankte was so bad before switching was he was decent after going to left wing. Blue, because it's difficult in this team. Anwar and Subhashish were bad. Even Rahul wasn't good today. Do you think Sana breaking combination would have been better as seen last match? Yes. I honestly think, and again, with no bias or whatever, I think Anwar should have not been called for this camp. The boy has other problems in his head, and you saw that today. Right? He's not played. Rate everyone played today. Blue, I'm not going to go into that. Rate everyone because it's going to be low ratings overall. Don't you think Edmund brought spark in forward in last 15-20 minutes? SDM, yes. But that's why I'm saying, if you start him, will he do the same thing? Will he have the same impact? Because the game opens up towards the end. If you come after 60 minutes, it's easier to play than when you start. Never forget that. Whoever started has laid the groundwork for you. I think Edmund would have not gotten the chances he got today in the first 20 minutes. The Syrian defense was insane, right? I think this should be end chapter for players like Manveer, Bose, Nanda, and even Jesus. Maybe these players were constant ones. Now we're losing with them. Let one young players come in, at least some change. RRC game, sorry, RRC game. Yeah, maybe not. Because the question is, who's going to be better? Do you think AIFF should consider sponsor Indian coaches to go abroad for further education? Just a thought. AIFF doesn't have money at the moment, Roshan, to run its system. They don't have the money for it. And the point to me is, I think the coaches themselves need to pay for their education. You know, do you think Indonesia is different test on Australia? Yeah, Indonesia is going to be a tough ask. Dropping Rahim Ali was bad call, agree? Yes. But wasn't it the fans who used to call him Lord Rahim and used to make fun about him? So this is also, I think, as fans, everyone can have an opinion. But sorry, I think very often fans with their opinions are not on the right track. Sorry to say that, but I'll be very honest about it. Right? When everyone was celebrating India last summer, I was putting the finger in the wound and saying, guys, we're not good enough as you think we are. The 2-2 against Iraq. Look at Iraq in that 2-2 and look at Iraq in the Asian Cup. These are friendly tournaments. These are friendly matches. This is nothing like comparing a World Cup qualifier, Asian Cup qualifier, or playing Asian Cup or a World Cup. This needs to be understood. Syria played with us today and didn't even play 100%. That is my concern. If they play 100%, what would have happened today? Don't think we would have had those many chances up front. I don't know how many goals we would have conceded. I think ISL should scrap the foreign players limit. Only then Indian players won't be overpriced and might try their luck outside of India. Palash, they won't, because even then the Indian players will be overpriced. This is something which people don't understand. The whole system is overpriced. You know, I jokingly said on this show multiple times, come to Remscheid, 6th division, FC Remscheid, right? 4th in the table, former second Bundesliga club, a lot of history, a lot of pedigree. Get 300 euros and show what you can play. None of them will play. That is my concern. How far behind are we falling in the standards where, you know, even dreaming of the World Cup is... Indian players get panic attack when they get the ball and want to run away from ball. Yeah, there were instances today. Yeah, I seriously see that. Yeah, very well said, Debjit. Can you mention any player ready for international level? Any player not ready? Can you mention? Murari, we've seen who's not ready for international. I've said, I think Jay Gupta is not ready. He needs another season. Ashish Rai for me, better today, but still, that's not international level football for me. And that the whole team wasn't international level football for me. Maybe to some extent I'll take Changte maybe out towards the end. He showed what he can do. And he's shown that in the past. But otherwise, not good enough. And ready, who's ready? I don't see anyone who's ready for international football. Get me that replaced. Tell me the name of a player who needs to get in. Only positive was the last 4 shots from Edmund, Mahesh, Changte, list everything else seems gloomy. No. See, Blue, that's the other problem. You are making positives out of which are not positives, in my opinion, because Syria didn't defend properly at that stage. And the goalkeeper was having off time. One thing I can't understand in football, we getting reality check, but we're not learning any lesson. We're not strengthening the system. Murali, we've gotten reality checks over the last 26 years I've been involved. Things have not improved because people lie into themselves. Maybe they believe also what they think, what they say. We need to be honest. Enough people are saying what is wrong in the system, but has the system changed? It's not. Now, uncle, should we force people to play outside? What do we do here? Shashank, as I said, at Salamshad, any Indian player, national team wants to come, play here, 300 euros, come, play, show yourself. These guys think that they can play in the top leagues. Not happening. Manvir Singh got chances number 9 under Juan for 1 whole season. Did you become a better number 9? Hell no. We can see that. Yeah. Understand quality is the issue, but the next thing is academy and structure to produce better players. How do we make better academies and structure our dialogue instead of discussing current crop? No, Deepak, you have to discuss the current crop. You have to discuss the future. So that's the other challenge, in my opinion. You have to discuss, in my opinion, you have to discuss both. You have to discuss what is happening at the moment, and you have to discuss what you need to do to lay the foundations for a better future. And people are saying, that things are getting better. Do you think India has this kind of poor performance in past during Vijay and Bhutan? I thought they played better. They've had bad results, yes. I remember a match in England where they were shit scared against an opponent. Yeah, but they got away. The opponent didn't score too many goals. So yes, these things have happened. It's not a new thing. There were times where players could have provided with and maybe opened up some spaces in Syrian defense. Siddhant, but then for that, you have to understand the basics. You have to understand tactics. Yeah. India missed a lot of easy half chances. I think non-league sides in England are more capable. Do you agree? No, I don't. Because they were not easy half chances. Only state-wise development program can save us. I think we are into one-size-fits-all. Genuine involvement state governments needed, not any kind of show-off things. We can scout better talents. Yes. Yeah, needed. Are Bandodka Cup, Durand Cup, or Santosh Trophy helping? No, they're not. As I said, Bandodka Cup, Durand Cup are pre-season tournaments, and Santosh Trophy is for a semi-pro amateur level footballers. Hi, Abhishek. Can you name these so-called top coaches who have resisted AIFF licensing, let those frauds be exposed? There are some of the biggest names in Indian football. Just check who have licenses or when they got the licenses. You'll know the names. Sorry, it's off topic, but credit has to be given where it's due. Just so ISL promo had today. It was brilliant. The brain behind it was exceptional. Yeah, at least one good thing. Yeah, that's true. This is team of individuals. That's another problem, right? Abhishek, very well. Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. That you don't see a team on the field. You see a group of individuals. That's why I say this might not be the best team. The quality might be an issue, yes, but they're not as bad as they're playing at the moment. So, that is the biggest challenge for Manolo, to get them to at least play to the top standard that this team can play. So our players seem like they are afraid to keep the ball for long. They're making decisions impatiently, and also they're even unable to control a simple pass. If you're playing, how improve? Any thoughts? It's a difficult one because there needs to be at least one player or two players who are taking charge of a team. Again, top level example, but I think a good example. Bayer Leverkusen have been a good team over the last 20, 30 years. Should have won the Bundesliga X number of times. But they brought in Granit Xhaka from Arsenal, and he was that leader. He was that glue around whom the team was built. And we don't have that glue. My hope has been, or is, that Apuya would be the midfield general, that Chante would take charge of the attacking sort of unit up front. And then the rest of the team would build around it. But they will need time. Sunil is gone. But that's not happening. So therefore, you need that focal point. We've had that focal point always, the leadership. Sunil has been there for a long time. Baichung was there before that. Baichung had people around him also. Sunil also at some stage had a lot of people around him. But this is a group of individuals. It's so frustrating to see, but could you tell when can diaspora players join in the forward team? SDM at the moment, never, most probably. The government has not done anything. Over now, when Raul Beke wanted to pass the jigs and told Raul to pass to Anwar. Yeah, Kumar, okay. Yeah, happens. This year we played 9 games with 0 wins, lost to Afghanistan, Qatar, B team, Syria B team, drew with Mauritius, mixed A and B team, and many more. Yeah, Blue. The results are bad. Syria missed out on World Cup, took the frustration out on India. Maybe. Can this Indian side match up to non-league English sides? Difficult. I think 5th tier, 6th tier teams would be. I would love to see India one day play against FC Remscheid, 6th tier German football. FC Remscheid in form against India. Bah. Raim Ali, Brandon, Vikram, Sandesh, Jitin, Parthiv, Gurkirat should be in. Remove Nanda, Manvir, Subhashish now. It's high time. It's better lost with young than old. Okay, separator, but Raim Ali is not amongst the youngest. Brandon is older. Sandesh is older. Jitin is not the youngest. So that logic doesn't work. Gurkirat has to play regular ISF football to be able to pick it up. Jitin and Parthiv also need to convince me another season that they're able to do that, to be able to be called up. About Brandon, Vikram, Sandesh, Rahim Ali, no problem. Sandesh, whenever fit, will return. Brandon, whenever fit, will return. Vikram, the same, and I hope Rahim Ali as well. But we had 85% passing accuracy this game, even though Syria weren't on their full even against Mauritius, Kuwait, Afghanistan, the midfield disappeared, but didn't look as a fluid and better approached. Harry Maguire, these statistics have no value because 90% of the passes were in your own half. There is no value to the stats. Another we can put any hopes on Open League for the future. Can we put any? Kumar, it's so far away that they're going to produce players. I have no clue. We can talk about it in 15 years. I guess this team can only play park the bus, and in the last 20 or 25 we can attack with super sub, basically Hava style. Do you think this can help? We can't park the bus. I think that's another learning. We're not good enough to park the bus because teams will find gaps. Main thing is dropping egoistic, non-disciplined players and players who will willing to give 101% national team. It's better to bring I-League, at least they will do something. Yeah, but then the quality drops even further, right? And then we'll be taken apart. I mean, 100% commitment, nice, or 101% commitment, but we'll be ripped apart because the quality is lacking. Those 85% passes are back passes to defenders. Yep, Zorawar, very, very right. Do you see reels from Vicky, who is Tamil Nadu football, who is exposing TNFA and Madras civic corruption, favoritism of certain individuals, also fight by the way, them to hosting tournaments, rights? No, I haven't seen it. Maybe send me the link. I'll surely have a look. Sometimes it's evident that there is a virtual Sarajal derby going on in the team. Maybe shows an interesting room. I don't think it's an East Bengal Mohun Bagan issue. I think there are other issues, but yeah, I'm not going to talk about them. Do you think we should replace entire playing 11? Saket, yeah, we could, but is it going to get better? Do you think Super League Kerala is another ISL in making? They are doing the same blunders as ISL, it seems. Zoravar, yeah, I fear, yes. And their talk is even bigger than the ISL was in 2014. So therefore that risk, in my opinion, is sadly certainly there. That's certainly a problem and issue. So yeah, let's wait and see what they do. Passing accuracy is a joke. Yeah. Do you think Indian team of 2003, which defeated Vietnam and win LG Cup, would have beaten Syria, qualified for third round, and done well in Asia Cup? Orijit, 20 years ago, and that was in 2002. Knew their team well under Steven. That was different. The football was different. So again, you can't compare. If you say, Pele could have done this, Pele could have done. Pele might not be able to play in today's football. His talent, because football is comparisons, in my opinion, don't work. You were Manwe is best number 9 in India. Manwe is your best number 9 by watching any game of Manwe. For international football. And looking at the squad, I think Mali to me is the best. This and that, everything. Nah. Sir, करे तो करे क्या Indian football आगे कैसे बढ़ेगी? The hope is that things will change, but then the people have to change. The leadership have to change, right? So that's the problem. Sorry. So just to answer this, sir, करे तो करे क्या Indian football आगे कैसे बढ़ेगी? I think a lot of heads need to roll. A lot of people who are in important positions, who have something to say, who think they know, need to go. Will that happen? Not even one person is going, right? And when we do replacements, we get in worse people. Yeah. There wasn't much of chance creation today, except for the last 5 minutes of first half. Why is this happening? There should have been some tactics. What do you think is the solution? So the solution is for the coach to work, find solutions to try and get this, get this team to be able to play in a certain way and play in a certain better way to try and be able to get something out of the players, get something out of this team. And that's the challenge I think that Manolo has, in getting this team organized and structured in a way that it can play better football. Then best is to stop watching Indian football. No new player coming, all players playing worse than ever. Only Indian football fans know how much difficult it is to watch their match when you have played. I'm not saying that, separator. I'm saying that there are 3-4 players who can come in, but will the end product be better? That's my question. If you want a young team to play, go. But again, if they lose then 6-7-0, you'll then say, oh, you know what, these players, again, that's the problem, right? The fan will forget what he said a month back or 3 months back. He will have a go at that moment. If we play a young team and that gets thrashed, I don't know, 7-8-0, I don't think people will take it lightly. Don't feel Manolo have guts actually to take strong decision. Prashanto, we will see. It's too early to call. I know where you're coming from, but we will see if we can, the October squad will be a first sign. And I think there might be some surprises, because I think people want certain players out. Those players might be in, but certain others might be out. So let's see. Why there never been any 1983 moment in Indian football? I wouldn't know why not. Um, you know, I would have thought 1950 could have been a 1983 moment, but we didn't go to play the World Cup because our focus was Asian Games and Olympics. We lost the chance. Sir, kindly approach AIFF to include one PO player in ISL team or allow PO to play for India. No other. Wait. Sashi, I've said that it's not the AIFF's decision, and if the AIFF allow PIOs to play in the ISL or whatever, we've had that in the I League or in the NFL in the past. Not the players of quality that we want for the national team that turn up. That's another problem, right? So, yeah. Shouldn't we see if play decent or bad, not based on absolute sins, but based on our previous performance? Do you see some improvement? Can you name minor degradation? Can you name? I look back at the Asian Cup 2019 and saw India beating Thailand 4-1. It was free-flowing football. It was the best football I've seen an Indian team play under Steve. Actually, no, it would be the first half an hour in the next match against the UAE because the boys had the confidence. But Ashik didn't score off the chances. That would have been something. At the moment we're scared. We're just scared. We're just scared to make mistakes. This team needs, I think if we win the match, the team will play different. But this team needs to win a match somehow. Right? The confidence is irrelevant. Honest, what should be India ranking if you're based on their quality? 124 looks flattering, you be honest. Arjit, I always say we're about 140, 145, you know. Earlier, I used to watch Indian football match while relaxing and so forth, but now I watch a time pass in gym just utilizing my time now. Yeah, but at least you're watching, I would say, separator, right? Okay, bye. Sir, take care. We can only hope for our country. Yeah, SDM, that's hope is the last thing that we should all lose. Gurpreet based shortstop. If the ball comes below his waist, he will leave 10 or 8. Any chance against Vietnam and Lebanon? Fast food, both those games started in India, and you never know. But I hope that Manolo has now some time. Manolo's problem will be now is in his brain, he's got the Indian national team here, and he's got FC Goa most of his head because the ISL starts in the next few days. And yeah, I wish him wisdom. I think that's the thing. What can coach do if players are scared of ball? Try and give them some sort of confidence. That's the only way forward. Sahal is useless nowadays, no contribution whatsoever. Anand, yeah. But again, it's one player. To take one player out, as I've said now multiple times today, makes no difference. I think the whole team was poor today. Is CAFA participation a hoax? No, we had an MOU and nothing happened after that. Even the current U17 match looks extremely poor. Yes, Sarava, that's a problem. I said that. I've seen much, much better under 17s. San Marino won after 20 years. They might beat India. Your thoughts? I don't think that San Marino would beat us, to be honest. But that's my thought. Why Manolo didn't play Jay Gupta today? Because Prashanto, I think Jay Gupta the other day didn't play well. That's also a problem. We believe in Blues. I think Blues does not believe in themselves. Whatever happens, we'll watch them unless we get FIFA banned. Separator, that's, I guess, the spirit. Because, yeah, we need to support them, and let's see. Form of Anwar is a concern. Dipjit, what do you expect with all that has happened in the last 2 weeks? Again, Sal never gets the full 90 minutes, even if he has a bad day in attack. He always puts in a shift defensively. Surely we need to give him 90 minutes from Torreira's potential. Rohit Raj? No, I would never say that. Sorry. Is there any current U17 who impressed you? Fast food? I've not seen anyone. Why do a player lack that intent, confidence? And how much better can we get by getting good at these? Stephen focused on the basics. Stephen always focused on the basics and ensured, the team setup is right. The team yeah, and that's going to be the challenge. That's going to be the challenge with uh, uh, yeah, that's going to be the question. Why not Sunday played better last match? Prashant, a good question. A question to ask the coach. I guess he wanted to try out. Sorry, just been thrown out again. Why not Sunday played better last match? Probably because I think the coach wanted to try players. But again, let's wait and see what he does. If India was Argentina matchup, would they stop at 5 or 6 goals? Nil? How would it affect rank if India wins? Origit, you're not going to win. And it's a friendly, so the friendlies don't count that much. I'm telling truth, friends, which I'm mad why I started to watch Indian football after SAF. Now stopped as seasonal fans, only sees results. At least if we can upset one big team, they can come back. Yeah, separator, very difficult. Has Governor of India started funding AIFF again, or is the funding still suspended? Zorawa, certain funds are still flowing, but not the way it used to. Change the coach, change the management, change the government, nothing will happen. Anji, sure, yeah. But the coach has been changed. Let's see. Foreigners. Should we get rid of old egos too much using players rather than being just safe? If we see them, almost all of them looks vulnerable, don't have backups, replace them. I think we do. What do you think? We don't have backups. That's my point. Yeah. So that's our biggest, and they were worse, right? I'm not going to stop watching Indian football, but I must admit the word left by ex-captain is quite palpable, and clearly we miss a leader on the field. Yeah, Deepak. What would India rank drop after? गोपी मनवीर इस टीम का पता नहीं है. Yeah, Kishore. Again, a lot of players are there. No connections. Fresh start. Some players egos too much, and some players Manolo. So therefore, that's that. Right. It's past 8 o'clock here in Germany. Only come to this end. What week as well. So seem to have technical problems here with my back end. I'm thrown out of the connection all the time. So therefore, yeah, disappointing day, disappointing result in the Intercontinental Cup. India lose 0-3 to Syria, who win the Intercontinental Cup. So congratulations to Syria. lot to think about for Manolo to work on with whatever all is happening. So therefore, I wish him all the best. And on the other side, the ISL will start on Friday. So the conversations will shift. As always, like, share, and subscribe. You know, yeah, I'm just disappointed again at the end of it. I still feel this, but again, I shouldn't. 1,635 followers. Thanks a lot, guys. And 35 likes so far. So thank you very, very much for your views, for your support, for your likes, shares, and subscriptions. Spread the word, and I'll be back tomorrow night with another conversation on Indian football. I see you've written a few things, guys, but slowly want to head to dinner. Let's discuss it tomorrow. And another reality check for us, for those who don't want to accept that our team at the moment is not where it needs to be, and Manolo has a lot of work to do. So thanks, good night. Anunav Chaudhary signing off. See you tomorrow.